How is everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just waiting for a few minutes for the other stream to turn on. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. How are you guys doing? Thank you. Sorry for the delay. I was trying to do a commercial. Hey there, Just Be Real. As a matter of fact, I was going to respond to you, Just Be Real, because I was doing a little short commercial for the upcoming conference, and it just so happened, Just Be Real, I was on your picture. So you don't want me to mess that up. I was on your picture. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, everybody. Hey there, Pink Kisses. How are you? Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello. My apologies. I'm a little late. I was trying to do a, I was trying to do a little, I was doing a commercial, but I went out a commercial. I was doing a TikTok commercial for the upcoming conference. Just a brief one so that you guys can start registering. I should have registration open hopefully this week. Good evening to you, Trini. How are you? Roy Lean, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, sir. Is that sir? Hopefully you, sir. Thank you, King. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, Miss Marvina, how are you? Please send me a new picture. Just be real. I need a new picture. Hey, Deshaun, send me a new picture. Hey, Constance, because hey there, Cluster Be Free. How are you, Miss Karen? Well, hey, T. Williamson. How are you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. What her cute self. Hey, Sharima. Hey, Chantal. How are you? Ontario. Okay. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Sorry for coming on late. Okay, let me see if I can pronounce that. Ty Nick Young. Hopefully I said that right. Hi, Rory. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Lady Eagle, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry for coming on a little late. I was trying to do some work. So thank you so much. Hey, Green Intellectual, how are you? Hey, hey. Hey, Paula. Hot topics. Hey, right. From Texas. Okay. Hey, Adrian. Sandra. Did I pronounce your name right? It's a Ty Nick Young. How are you? Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Karen. Thank you so much. I was trying to do a TikTok commercial, and I was on Just Be Real's picture. And she was rushing me, and I didn't realize it was that late, but I was on her picture while I was uploading the pictures. Plyboy, how are you from Ohio? Okay. Betty, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna wait for a few minutes, then I'll turn on Clubhouse. Hey, Dorothea. So hopefully, those of you that can join me on Clubhouse as well can join me on Clubhouse. I'm a little late. I apologize. I had to unpack my computer and all my equipment, and on top of that, I was doing some work. So sometimes I'm coming off the road doing work. So I apologize. But thank you so much for being so patient. Hey, Danielle, miss you today. Miss you today, sis. Well, thank you, Miss Deborah. It's a whole dress. It's a whole dress. Thank you so much. I know you weren't rushing me. Well, hey there, Tamarin. You say, hey, Miss Car Chronicles. Thank you so much for being here. So for those of you that are new, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for taking this time to come here to hear me. I am broadcasting from YouTube, both of my Facebook, well, my personal Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I am on Instagram at this particular time, and I'm going to start Clubhouse. So those of you that also have the Clubhouse app, come join me over at Clubhouse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about some topics that was that I'm noticing a trend that I'm noticing that I wanted to talk about, and then what I'll do is allow some questions for maybe like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go over to Clubhouse so that I can talk for a few more minutes, and I'm not gonna try to be on late tonight because I know some of you guys. Hey, Wesley Warren, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Philadelphia in the house. Okay, and Panama. All right. Marquelda Martinez. I think I got that right. Thank you guys so much. So if you guys also would like to join me on Clubhouse, I'm coming over on Clubhouse. And we're going to start our topic as soon as I start Clubhouse. Okay, so let me turn on Clubhouse for you guys. So those of you guys that would like to join me over on Clubhouse, you are welcome to join me. Hey there, Miss Pat. And this, let's see, Miss Lady Eagle. Hey there, Miss Lady Eagle, just as pretty. Hey there, Miss Lady Eagle. Hey, Sharima, how's everybody doing? Well, thank you so much. Is DBR Hellup? Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Wesley said he just tested positive as an empath. Hey there, Miss Denise. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Brenda V. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Who is this? This is NP That Cares. All right. Well, how is it, Bernice? Hi, Bernice. How are you doing? PhD student. Go ahead at Johns Hopkins University. Okay. I see you, girl. Go ahead. Congratulations. And then son Syria, how are you? And a Foreg Erie, please forgive me if I mispronounced that. He's gone. But hey, Chris, how are you? Dewana, Marvina, how are you guys? Thank you so much for being here. I am, okay, you know I'll mess it up. Okay, I want to mess it up. Mod up. Okay, I'll mess it up. It'll be something simple. I done made it something complicated. Hello, Plyboy DMV. Okay. Hey, Jesus girl Betty, how are you? And then Zandra from Connecticut. Thank you for being here. So, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I was just saying all my salutations, and then I opened up Clubhouse. If you guys also like to join me on Clubhouse, let's talk about something tonight. Let's talk about narcissistic, compassionate, empathy predators. Now, I'm gonna just let you guys know tonight. This topic may make some people angry, but what's new, right? I'm doing great, thank you. But what's new? It's gonna make some people angry, but you know, when it comes to healing from narcissist abuse and addressing and educating about narcissistic personality disorder, some of the hardest things is for people to hear the truth. And the truth hurts. And I'll give you this example to make you smile to start. Usually got to make you smile before I cut. If your breath stinks or if you have body odor, you much rather have someone like me or like yourself tell you, hey, listen, sis, listen, King. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. I just want you to know that your breath, may need some gum or something like that. Because if you don't, people may say something ugly to you. So if you go out there, people may try to joke and laugh or say something ugly. But I just want you to know. Now, you have several ways that you can react to that information. Number one, you can get angry and you can become combative and start pointing your fingers. I know you're not talking, and you always trying to, and you think you are, and you a lie, and you're just saying that to hurt me. Or number two, you can say, you know what, sis, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Forgive me. I'm so sorry. And then you may feel guilty. I'm so sorry, and start blaming. I'm so sorry. This is usually what happens. And my mother didn't take me to the dentist, and I have stomach problems, and I just can't, and it's just, and it's not my fault, and things always happen to me. Or you can say, you know what, sis, my bad. I apologize. I'm kind of embarrassed, so that we can say, you know what, no big deal. It happens to the best of us, but I just don't want you to be embarrassed out there, right? So there are several ways that people react to information like that, but the truth is the truth. And if you don't tell a person the truth, later on when they do come across the truth and they realize that you didn't tell me the truth, first thing is you didn't care enough to tell me the truth. And then you may be saying, but I know how you're going to react. And so because of the fact that I know that you're going to react a certain way, I just don't want to say anything to you. So that person that needs that information has shut down people where people can't even tell them because you're combative or you're argumentative, right? So I said all that to say this. When you're dealing with people that have been hurt, and for some of you, for some of this is for coaches, for some of you that are coaches, that are mental health professionals, that are in the medical field, when you're dealing with people, sometimes people don't come in there to get help for themselves. Because one thing that you have to understand is that when you're going through narcissistic abuse, or you're a victim or a survivor of narcissistic abuse, a lot of times people do not come to you because they really want help for themselves. Usually they're coming in because they want the pain to stop and they want the person to stop what they're doing. And so they come in to try to get information from you. If you don't give them, they're coming in and they are looking for something. They're looking for a particular piece of information to help them make this person change. I just want the pain to stop, and I want them to stop making me hurt. And so a lot of times they're not coming in there for themselves to heal. And for you to say that they're never going to change, they will become combative and angry and ugly and let you know that your therapy doesn't work and I don't want to come see you. So a lot of times people are not coming in there for themselves to heal, because a person that is coming out of narcissist abuse, or a person that's in narcissist abuse that needs help getting out of narcissist abuse, the thing that they, a lot of times what they do, they also have a victim's mentality. So their whole focus and conversation is on the narcissist. Now, true enough, people need to vent and get it out off their chest and get it out of their system. But a lot of times, no matter how much you try to help, that's why a lot of times therapists, coaches, those that are in the helping field, a lot of times when you notice that you're giving a person information and they're just, it's almost like they're overriding the information that you're giving them and they're not focused on anything that you're saying, you already know that they have a different agenda on their mind. And sometimes you have to pull back and you just have to wait. You come back to me when you are ready. When you are ready, that means we have to look at you. What can we do to get you out? We need to focus on you and not that person. Yes, this person is doing that. Yes, this person has done this. Yes, that person has done this. But what do we need to do with you to get you out of that situation, to get you healed? And getting you healed does not include them, because you are detaching from them. Also, let me add this as well. We have to stop making excuses and justifications, because us, just, and I say us as a whole, because I don't want to point my fingers at you guys and make you feel like, you know what, she's just another person that's pointing fingers and making me feel bad. Let's just say us as a tribe, because a lot of us have been through it. The one thing that we have to stop doing is enabling the narcissist. You have to understand, that the average person, and I say a normal person, but we don't really know what normal is anymore, right? But a normal person has the capacity of having empathy. Now, I'm not talking about the empath. What I'm saying is you have empathy and you have compassion. And when I say empathy, you have emotional empathy. You have the capacity to understand emotions, and you are able to put your feet in somebody else's shoes. Even if that's not a situation that you have been through, you can put your feet in somebody else's shoes and only imagine how painful this could be. That makes you very sensitive to them, and it gives you compassion for that person. Not feel sorry for them, not you don't want to pity them, but you feel empathy for them, and you feel bad about something, that they're going through, that they're hurting. They may have lost a parent or a child. I can't imagine what that feels like, but oh my gosh, I can only imagine. I don't know what it's like, but the pain that you may be going through, right? Well, you have to understand that a narcissist does not have emotional empathy. They have cognitive empathy, meaning that they understand how emotions work, so they understand how to make you react. They know how to make you angry. They know how to make you cry. They know how to hurt you. And we are the ones that usually train them up. And some of the ways that we train them up is because sometimes when you get stuck in denial, and you get stuck in that denial, or you get stuck in that cognitive dissonance, you perpetuate what's the word I'm looking for, you're perpetuating their behavior. You are giving them justification. You're justifying their behavior, put it that way, but you're perpetuating their behavior, because we don't know how to get out of that cycle of justification. For example, if a man or a woman is abusing you, if you're going through domestic violence and they're abusing you, and you come out of that situation, and then someone tells you that you have to be careful, and you may want to think twice before you allow your children that much time with that perpetrator, and then you argue back with them saying they abuse me, it has nothing to do with my children, they abuse me, and they are a good father or a good mother. First of all, we need to understand, because now you've got some problems with justification, enabling, cognitive dissonance, because what constitutes a good mother or father? Because if they are abusing you, your children are vicariously being abused. Your children are vicariously being traumatized. And a lot of times PTSD can be vicarious PTSD. If you read the definition of post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder may not always be you personally experiencing the trauma, but you may be witnessing somebody being abused or traumatized. And so now you get PTSD, or the child gets PTSD from watching their parent being abused. And then on top of that, if you think that that person is not going to abuse your children, you didn't think that they were going to abuse you. Now, a narcissist, on the other hand, may get your children because they have lost a primary source of supply, and your children become the primary source of supply. And then when you start noticing, because you're arguing with people, because no, they would never do my children like that, and I know that that they're a good parent, and then you start noticing behavior changes in your children. How do you think people like Gacy and Ted Bundy and these serial killers, who, by the way, are in the same family of cluster B, got away with what they got away with? Because they were the family oriented people. They went home, they ate dinner with their families, they played cards, they ate pizza, they had birthday parties, and even the wives of the people, that were serial killers, like, I would never have thought that. I would never have thought that they were out there doing this because they were such a good husband, that they did so. And so they're in the same cluster B personality disorder as a narcissist. But yet, for some reason, people will justify, and they have that cognitive dissonance. That cognitive dissonance meaning, for example, I know smoking is bad for my health. I know it causes cancer. I've seen emphysema. I've seen this, but your feelings override your logic, and your feelings say, but I'm having an urge to smoke, and it makes me relax, and it makes me feel good, makes me feel less stress, makes me feel. So you allow your emotions to override your logic. And just like when you're coming out and you're dealing with a narcissist, you will allow your feelings to override your logic. You see the red flags, you see what the narcissist is doing, and then even if you don't know that person is a narcissist, you know how they handled you. Your children are being traumatized watching you go through what you go through. Some of you have been traumatized watching your parents being abused or being abusive. And so you have secondary trauma, PTSD, from the families you come from. And then you get right back into an abusive situation. Some of you have watched it and experienced it. And then you listen to people justify. They're justifying. They become enablers. You have people, and a lot of you guys, that are coaches that do videos as well. And people come, you just have to, everybody is not there to assist you or help the tribe that you're with. And one of the best things to do is no contact. Some of you guys need to go no contact with your kids, no contact with your family members, no contact with your parents, because ultimately your mental health is priority. If you go crazy, you have a psychotic episode, you have a mental breakdown, you have a physical breakdown. Right now, I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to say her name. I don't say it too much right there. I'm not going to say her name, but right now within the world of entertainment and all that, you have a person that is having a serious health and mental breakdown because of something that has happened in her relationship. And some people's mind cannot handle that much trauma and that much pain. And they begin to have serious mental health issues, memory problems, memory fog. They forget things. They start having serious health issues and flare-ups in their bodies. And if you have lupus, or you have some type of autoimmune disorder or thyroid problems or something, you'll notice that it gets out of control and it's almost uncontrollable. People wonder. I had one client who has never had cancer in her family lineage, period. Excuse me for just a minute. Excuse me, I got thirsty. But has never had a history of cancer in her family. No one in her family has ever had cancer. She had breast cancer. And the oncologist that she was working with told her, because she was with a malignant, over nasty narcissist, to a point where she's constantly like this. She's constantly like this. Nerves just bad. And the oncologist told her, he says, I'm going to say this. He says, but I'm saying this off record. He said, you don't have any history of cancer in your family whatsoever, but the level of stress and the abuse that you are going through, he says, played a role in you getting cancer, because your body is naturally supposed to be able to fight cancer. Your body can fight, the cells in your body can fight cancer. He said, but your immune system is so tore down by the trauma and the abuse that you are going through, it could not even protect itself, because you have no history of cancer in your family. This shouldn't have happened. He says, I go off record to say that. And he's a research oncologist. And he said that you should have never gotten cancer. He said, but because of the fact that stress has broken your body down, you got cancer. He says, so you need to learn. He said, you got to relax. You got to get stress free. So I'm telling you guys that a lot of times, as I said, everybody that comes to counseling or coaches, they're not coming for you to help them. They want you to make the pain stop, and they need a solution to make that person change and make that person stop. There are also people, men and women alike, who use the children. Not just the narcissist uses the child, but the victim or the survivor uses the child because they know that the child is the only way that they can stay attached to the narcissist. So they'll try to make the narcissist be a parent, or they complain about, they have a way to file for child support, or fill out paperwork in reference to a parenting plan, but they won't do it because, well, no, I don't want to do that because, he's a good father, she's a good mother. No, what you need to do when you're dealing with a narcissist and you're trying to get away from the pain, because you don't know what you're putting your children into. You don't know the path of trauma that you're putting your children into. Some of you guys are products of that, where you guys were being molested, sexually molested, abused privately. And for some people to say their father would never do anything like that, their mother would never, women abuse too, and sexually abuse as well. And to hear somebody say they would never do that, I know them better than that. You don't know a narcissist. Never underestimate what a narcissist will do. Now, you really think some of you guys come from that? Some of you guys have background of sexual violations and abuse and sexual abuse. And and some of you have said, and you mean to tell me that everybody knew what was going on? They've got documentaries. I watch documentaries a lot, documentaries about people that have been through some things. And he'll show this documentary of this young boy that was being molested, has some home videos. And he was recalling the times where he was being molested in plain sight and nobody knew. Everybody's sitting there with a blanket on them, or they're watching television, and he's being molested in plain sight, and nobody knew that the perpetrator, who was sitting right there with him, was molesting him. Sat on his lap, was molesting him in plain sight in front of everybody. So don't sit there and say that you know. And I'm not saying this in general to all of you guys. What I'm saying is that never underestimate a narcissist. Never underestimate what a narcissist will do or is doing right in front of you, and you don't know. The thing about it is that when you justify, they play along with your justifications. When you say that they're a good father and you're making excuses, no, it comes time where you have to stop making excuses for that person, and it is what it is. It is what it is, and you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. They can't love you, so they're not going to love their children. And shame on you. I can't believe that you don't have compassion for these people. I can have compassion for a lot of people, but I'm not going to allow a serial killer to come stay in my house and I got kids. You know what? I have compassion for you, and I hate the fact that you've been through what you've been through, because I know you've been through some horrible things your own self, and I know that you probably have been abused and misused, and I know it, but that's not an excuse. That doesn't mean that I have so much compassion and woe is me and I feel so sorry for you that I'm just going to let you come in my house and I already know your track record. No, you going to stay where you at. I'm going to feel sorry from you from a distance, right? Hey, I was about to say, Auntie Kathy, hey, sis. But it is what it is, exactly. And so it comes time where you have to be honest, not just with yourself, but the people around you. But what I was saying is that some of you guys have to go no contact. Some of your kids are abusing you. And you know what? If you have adult kids, they grown. But that does not give them a right to misuse you or abuse you. When it comes to a point where your kids are putting their hands on you, okay, so I can't even tell you what I'm thinking, but when your kids start putting their hands on you, where they're disrespecting you, where they're threatening you, sometimes it may be for a while, it may be permanently, it may, where you have to go no contact to gain, it's not gain your momentum, but to gather your thoughts, get yourself healed. Oh, my sis said, oh no. But for some people, you even need to go no contact with your own children, no contact with your own family, because every time you get around your family or every time you get around your kids, you stress, your stomach is messed up, your reproductive system, you think you in menopause, your menstrual cycle is all jacked up, you have a migraine headaches, you can't sleep at night, you worried. Sometimes you have to let them go so that you can get a peace of mind and get yourself back to health. Now, some of you have said, I can't do that. That's my baby. That's my child. But you know what? You feel that way about your baby, but you got to be careful that they don't put you in a grave early on, because there's some people that are actually dying from strokes and heart attacks and high blood pressure because they're so stressed out because of their family. Some of you guys don't like holidays. Some of you guys, I hate Christmas and I hate the holidays. It's not the fact that you hate the holidays or hate Christmas. What it is you hate the drama that goes along with Christmas and the holidays. You associate the trauma and the drama that you go through with the holidays that you're going through. Okay, then change your traditions. There's nothing wrong with changing your traditions. When you go no contact, some of you guys go no contact and stop making excuses for them and justifying their behaviors. You are perpetuating the abuse. They're learning from you. So, and they are soul hunters, and they're compassionate empathy hunters. If you have compassion and you have empathy, they play on your compassion and they play on your empathy. Excuse me, you guys. They play on your compassion and they play on your empathy because you have it. They don't. They have cognitive empathy. Remember that. I don't talk myself into thirst. Woo, I'm sorry. Stop letting people make you feel guilty. Stop letting coaches, therapists, a lot of you guys that are doing social work, those of you guys that are working with people, domestic violence advocates, those of you that actually work with people that are coming out of domestic violence, that are coming out of abuse, that are coming out of narcissist abuse, stop letting them make you feel guilty that they're not changing. Change is the responsibility of the person seeking help. And change starts, just like my mentor says, in order to change things, you have to change your mind. If you're not changing your mind, you're not going to change. When you're coming out of a situation like that, in order to, some of you, I don't know how to do it, change your mind. Change your mind and get to a point where it doesn't mean that you're hateful, doesn't mean that you're evil. Sometimes you have to put them out of your mind. You're like, you know what? That's not my problem. I need to heal. I need to get myself together. I need to cut them off. And then family has this habit of making you feel guilty. I can't believe that you wouldn't talk to your mother. I can't believe you're not going to talk to your father. They're family. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water, and your parents are only parents that you have, and you shouldn't cut them off. And out of all things, your family, you should stick together. But if your family is the one that's causing you pain, your family is the one that's causing you trauma, if your family is the one that's a perpetrator of PTSD or cognitive, of complex PTSD, some of you guys are struggling. And then remember, you dealing with cognitive dissonance, where you just cannot believe that a person can be like this. There's no possible way that a human being could be like this. They have emotions just like everybody else. Okay, what about the serial killers? What about psychopaths and sociopaths? How come you guys are not fighting? Not saying you guys. I'm not saying you. What I'm saying in general, if that's the case, then why are we not compassionate for serial killers? Why are we not compassionate for serial killers and murderers, that are sadistic? Why are you not up there trying to make them feel bad about themselves? Why are you not over there trying to defend them? Why are you not over there stroking them? Oh, you need to feel sorry for them, and poor thing, and they've been through something. Talk to someone that has lost a child or a family member to a serial killer and see what they say. Some of them are struggling with forgiveness. They're struggling with forgiveness, but they're in the same cluster as a narcissist, and so we have to take responsibility. We can't keep enabling. We cannot be the enablers. We have to stop enabling them and supporting their behaviors. And by supporting their behaviors, by making up excuses and justifying what they're doing. And not only justifying what they're doing and making excuses for them, you're not holding them accountable. To hold them accountable means stop chasing behind them, trying to make them be a good parent or make them be a parent. If a real man or a real woman knows how to be a parent for themselves, you don't have to make them be a parent. That means that you're dealing with something. That means you are dealing with something. You won't let go, because a real man is going to come and see his child. A real woman is going to come get their kids. Stop justifying. Stop enabling. It is what it is. The truth is the truth. If they're abusing you, your children are being abused. You can't tell somebody, they were abusing me. That was between me and them. It had nothing to do with my kids. Your children witnessed it. They became a part of that cycle of abuse. And your children vicariously probably got PTSD by watching what has happened. So what constitutes a good parent? because abusing you does not constitute a good parent, because they have set an example. Your children are either going to become the abusers or your children are going to be abused. And what you see is going to be worse than what you've been through. So hopefully that made sense this evening. I don't want to stay that long, but if you guys have some questions, if the moderators would give me maybe like 5 minutes to answer some questions, and then I'll go over here to Clubhouse. I'll go over here to Clubhouse. So if you guys want to answer a question. Denise said, I'm not a victim because I'm not having it. I'm fighting back. Best way to fight back is to leave. Cut them off. No contact. Because you can't fight fire with fire. Can't fight fire with fire. Can't fight fire with fire. The lies that came out in the divorce. Absolutely. Yep. You're welcome, Chantal. Chantal. Exactly. 5 minutes. Yes, ma'am. It's so validating. Good. Why don't the court system see this? The court system are not looking for narcissist abuse. The court system, when you enter into the court systems are about facts. If you accuse somebody of something, the burden of proof is on you. When it comes to narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder, you are not a mental health provider that has done an examination on them to discuss their behaviors. Usually when you have a mental health professional get involved, is, for example, if they're doing like a parenting assessment on both sides, parenting assessment for both parents, and to see if the parents have any mental health issues. Once that therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist does an assessment on that individual, then they will present those facts to the court saying that this person has this type of disorder based off of this test, and this is the behavior, that is the behavior that is consistent with this type of abuse. But the courts they're not there, tit for tat. You don't come into the court system and say that person is a narcissist. The court don't care what you got to say. What the court is want to know, if you're going to accuse somebody of being something, then you have to make sure that the burden of proof is on you. So what you have to make sure you do is take narcissism out of the vocabulary, and what you come in there and say is they're abusive. What are they doing? They are abusing me. They have taken my finances. They won't allow me to go to the doctor. They have physically abused me. They have confined me to the home. They have taken away my keys. You have to go in there with facts, not your opinion on whether a person is a narcissist or not, because a lot of times people say that someone is a narcissist and they're not a narcissist. I hate to tell you this. Matter of fact, this is something that my mentor said today. She said she said today. And this doesn't apply to like narcissists, for example, but kind of it don't. But she was telling us that Steve Harvey made a comment. He says that a man will change for one woman. Matter of fact, he also said that, and what a man love, he will take care of it. But a man will change for one woman. And then when you say that, but he didn't change for me, you weren't the one woman that he wanted to change for. You weren't the one. Now, for a narcissist, none of y'all the one. And he doesn't change for anybody. She doesn't change for anybody. The only thing that you see is that the mask that is on their face. And some people don't. I've heard people say the mask fell after 15 years. No, the mask fell before then, but usually a person is in denial. And when a person is in denial, they're looking right at it. No, what happened after 15 years, you stopped tolerating it and you opened up your eyes and you went ahead and addressed what you saw. You began to talk. You found your voice and you began to say stuff. So it wasn't that after 15 years his mask fell. No, after 15 years, you finally stopped making excuses for him and you finally used your voice. You stopped making excuses. That's what happened. So the proof was always there. But what I'm telling you guys, though, is we have to stop making excuses for these abusers. We have to stop making excuses for these abusers. You see it. Maya Angelou said that the first time someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's exactly who they are. Believe them. Do the narcissists ever turn on their flying monkeys and or enablers? Absolutely. Absolutely. When they're done using them, absolutely. They do it. Matter of fact, while they're using them, they abuse them the same way they abuse supply, because flying monkeys are secondary supply. If they have a primary supply, flying monkeys are secondary supply. So of course they'll turn. The enablers are usually the primary supply. Of course they turn on them. They handle them any kind of way. And they're abused. A lot of flying monkeys are abused to stay. And so the flying monkeys will do anything to protect them. Sandy said, how do you get rid of them for good? Make up your mind. Change your mind and make up your mind. Because it doesn't matter whether or not they still around and think that you belong to them. Change your mind. Make up your mind. I'm done. And that's it. Close the doors and close the doors of your mind. I'm through. How can I best respond to my kids when they're highly emotional after being with their narc father? You have to be as normal as you possibly can. You cannot guilt parent. You cannot emotional parent. You have to maintain your standards at home. They still have chores. There's still a certain time they need to be in the bed. There are still rules that they follow in that house. You have to maintain your level of normalcy in that house. I know it's going to hurt because you love your children. I know it's going to hurt, and you're going to have this urge to guilt parent. You feel sorry for them. You don't want them to hate you. But the best thing that you can do, because a narcissist is unstable, but the best thing that you can do is maintain your standards at home. You have chores. You have a certain time you need to get in the bed. You have homework to do. There is correction, and there are consequences to your actions. And you maintain that. Maintain that. Excuse me. Why do they make the family members hate you by telling them lies about you? Because they're a narcissist. That's what they do. That is a part of their habits. Time, okay, that's a part of their habit. Why do narcs seem to contact you as at a set time every 5 months? My ex contacts me. That's his cycle. That is his cycle. Break that cycle and don't answer that telephone. You know it, but break the cycle. Thank you, Danielle. Why does a narcissist still try to add you as a friend with fake accounts, then block you immediately when you're in no contact? They're hoovering you. And when they're hoovering you, respond, they punish you. That's all. It's a game that they play. All right, you guys. Let me come over here to Clubhouse. They give me 5 minutes. You are welcome. How do you be done when you have children together? He says I'm keeping them from him, but he doesn't look after them. How how are you done with them? Well, number one, you have to handle when it comes to your children and becomes and as your ex, and you're still having to. So you can't go fully no contact, but you can gray rock. And one of the things you have to do is you have to handle the transaction like business. When you do business transaction, you don't walk into a bank and tell the banker that you're getting money from how much you love them and get all emotional and no, it's a business transaction, and so you have to handle it like a business transaction. You'll never be able to what's the word I'm looking for? You'll never be able to what's the parenting? You have the parallel parenting. There is no co-parenting with a narcissist. It's going to be counter-parenting, is co-parenting and counter-parenting. You have to parallel parent. And what you have to do is you have to set firm boundaries, whether you have court orders in place. There's a certain time that you drop them off. There's a certain time that you pick them up, and make sure you keep a lot of records. A lot of you can go over to Instagram and look at Judge Anthony Bompiani. He talks a lot about court, how to handle yourself in court, how to file certain papers in court. And so you have to be very, very careful that it's a business transaction and that's it. It's a business transaction and that's it. And don't let them pull, because they use the children to pull you emotionally. Okay, so I'm going to go over to Clubhouse, okay? Danielle said time. So I'm going to go over here to Clubhouse, you guys, okay? So first of all, allow me to say thank you so much for same mess, different people. Absolutely. So I'm going to come over here to Clubhouse for a few minutes to talk to some of my guests. First of all, I want you guys to know that I'm having my second annual Overcoming Narcissist Abuse Conference in Atlanta, Georgia on the 23rd of July. Mark your calendars, the 23rd of July. I'm going to be at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis on Peachtree Avenue. It is a ticketed event. Right now, I do have it open for VIPs. Give me this week, and I will have general admissions and Zoom. Those of you that cannot attend in person, I will have the Zoom link available to you to begin registrations. I'm waiting for my team to give me flyers so that you can see who the guests are. We will have, last year, if you guys were there with me last year, I will have Miss Bridget Griffin, who is domestic violence advocate of the Survivors First program from the YWCA. We will also have Mr. Marcus Monroe, who is hold on, I just had it. He talks about mentality. He talks about the new alpha males, or this the alpha males. I have it posted. But he talks about this new type of men that is coming out. You will also have my big sister, Kathy Gibson. My Life is Intentional. She has two books out. One is The Aristocratic Woman. It's the, hold on, The Aristocratic, hold on, let me look. I got it on my phone. If you're watching, big sis, I got it on my phone. Where is it at? I just wrote it up too. Where are you? Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find my big sister. Where's she at? I have it written right here somewhere. Where is you at? Where's my big sister at? Kathy Gibson, the host of My Life is Intentional. And where is her program? So I'm going to have it all posted. Let me read it to you so you know who's going to be there. Um, of course, I'm going to be there. So give me just a second. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Okay, so the first person was, I'm going to be there, of course, but Miss Bridget Griffin, who is domestic violence legal advocate for the Survivors First program from the YWCA in Seattle, Washington. And then my big brother, Mr. Marcus Monroe, who teaches women the laws of mentality, the rise of secret alpha male men groups. And then he's teaching you how these men think and behave. And how to evaluate your relationship status and bring clarity into the mixed signals that men so often give to women. Then you got my big sister, Kathy Gibson. My Life is Intentional. She's also an author of Destiny Man and the Qualities to Look For and the Essence of the Aristocratic Woman. Then, of course, you're going to have my mother, Apostle Helen Sadler. Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, who is the senior pastor, leadership specialist, presiding prelate, and founder of Into His Chambers Global Ministries. She's a global speaker, ministry, business, narcissism, community activist for human rights, and life coach. Your destiny helper. She deals with extreme and difficult relationship, teaching awareness, bringing enlightenment, and concerning relationships and dealing with narcissist profile through character and spiritual basis. And then we will also have a table talk. And for the table talk, we will have a special guest there by the name of Telsha Edenberg. Telsha with the T, this T on MPD and relationships, and other guests that are going to, some surprise guests that will be there for the table talk during the conference. Those of you that are interested in VIP services, you are welcome. Hey there, Dr. Hightower. How are you, sir? Dr. Hightower is going to be there. He's a relationship or entanglement coach, relationship coach. Some of you guys know him, Dr. Gerald Hightower. He's going to be there with us. Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, is going to have table talk, and we'll have guests on the table talk. So some of you guys that are there on Monday mornings at 7:45 Pacific Standard Time, some of the people that you actually see on the forum will actually be there in person. And you will get to meet them, especially Telsha with the T on MPD. She's going to be there. Those of you that will be joining us VIP, it will be a semi-formal and formal event after, I was going to say after services, after the conference. That evening, we will be transported by limousine services to a restaurant, and we're going to be bougie, y'all. So if you guys would like to join me right now, I do have VIP open for registration. If you go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com. When I post the video, the information will be under the video on YouTube. But if you go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com, you will find the registration if you want to be VIP. It will be limited space for VIP. You will have people that you see there that will be there at the event. Those that are on the forum, you will be able to spend the evening with us, talk to us, fellowship with us, watch us eat. I'll try not to eat real fast. Ask us questions, take pictures, bring your books if you want your book signed, but you get to hang. But VIP will be limited. So if you go now, VIP registration is open. It will be a formal event. We will be picked up by limousine that evening after the conference, give you time to change, and we will be escorted by limousines to he said he's about the limo life. but you will be escorted by limo to a restaurant of my choice to enjoy being. Yes, Apostle Sadler will be there at the event, and so will Telsha with the T. Myself, I have a staff that is going to be there. So you guys, some of you guys met my staff last year's Miss Kelly Ham, Miss Tierra Carpenter, who are my VIP guest services specialists, Miss Charcetta Felton, who is Just Be Real, my personal assistant, who's going to be there. And this team is going to make it happen for you. You guys know the beautiful Mr. and Mrs. Jeremy and Connie Jones, who are the mistress and Mr. and Mistress of Ceremonies. And so it is going to be an awesome event. You guys get ready. We're going to be talking a lot. And Miss Danielle says she's going to be there as well. And so this year's title for the second annual Overcoming Narcissist Abuse is Training Your Terrorist. You know, we're going to talk about how you train the terrorists. Used to drive limos. See, Delio, if you were there, we would sure use your services. We make sure you be taken care of. So if you still had your services available, we will make sure you will be taken care of. We like to give to, you know, we make sure that we take care of our peoples, our tribe. So, but if you guys can make it out the 23rd of July, I will be there the day before, but I do have family there. So my family's coming to pick me up and bring me to the hotel. And I will be there that Friday through Monday. Y'all don't be come up there trying to hang with me from Sunday and Monday either. But we will have an event on the 23rd of July, depending on what time my team. It's the 23rd of July in. It's at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis on Peachtree Avenue. And it starts at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but we will have a continental breakfast available to you there in the room, because if you're there at the hotel, you have to go pay for it, but it'll be a part of your ticket. You will get continental breakfast there at 7 o'clock. So if you get there at 7 o'clock, some of my team will be there. Even some of the speakers will be there to meet and greet with you. And then at 8 o'clock, we will start the event. And then at 12 o'clock, we will have lunch. So your ticket was paying for lunch. And so we will be there. And those of you that cannot make it, we will be on Zoom. So I am looking forward to meeting some of you. It was an awesome event last year. I know I met Miss Barbette, who's a little old, tiny little something, full of power, little tiny self. But I met a lot of the people that are here on YouTube. I got to meet you guys in person. So now you guys get to meet a whole team. And then, of course, we will be in Hawaii in August, the 12th through the 16th. So you will have more information about that as well. So please, join me right now. If you want to do VIP is limited because of the amount of people that we can fit together. So it is limited. So you go ahead and go ahead and get the tickets. I will also have group rates for you guys. So those of you that want to come in groups, it will be less expensive if you bring a group. And so I will have group rates for you as well. Those of you that want to stay at the hotel, if you give me this week, they're going to send me a link so that you guys can reserve the room. We're going to block rooms so you can reserve the room at a discounted rate and you can stay there at the hotel as well. And so I appreciate all of you guys. I'm coming over to Clubhouse, so come join me over here on Clubhouse. Remember, if you need services, if you are in the state of Washington and need mental health services, I'm available to you. Just email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. Let me know what insurance you have in the state of Washington. If you're outside, don't send me that information. But if you're in the state of Washington, send me your insurance. Let me know what insurance you have so I can find out whether I'm in network with your insurance. If you're outside the state of Washington, I cannot provide mental health services to you. However, I can provide you with coaching services, but we're not going to be discussing mental health issues. We're going to find out what your plan is. What are you trying to do? What resources you have to get you to from point A to point Z. And you can contact me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. If you're outside the state of Washington and you need therapy services, you can use betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. It is a sponsored site for me. But at the same time, I am an avid advocate for mental health services because some of you guys are going through PTSD PTSD. Some of you guys are going through complex PTSD, and it's very important that you take care of your mental health. What purpose does it serve if you're not going to take care of yourself? How are you going to help other people if you're broken up? Because you will draw a narcissist back to you when you're walking around with these holes in your heart, and you're not in. And ladies, stop being so desperate. You don't need a man. You desire a man. You desire to have a mate, but you don't need to have one. You desire to have one. And there's nothing wrong with desiring to be married. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved and be in a healthy relationship. But if you're not healthy, you're not going to pull anything healthy to you either. You're going to pull the broken pieces of you. You're going to pull flies to poop. That's what you're going to pull in there. You want to be healthy because you want the person that you're connecting with to be healthy as well. And that's men and women alike. You want somebody healthy, and you want to be healthy. You want to be made whole. So stop being so desperate. If you're really, really desperate about being in a relationship, it's not time to be in a relationship, because you shouldn't be desperate and trying to be in a relationship. You should have the ability to say, nope, that ain't it, and leave it alone. And that doesn't mean you have to be mean to a person. Just, nope, that ain't it, and leave it alone. Put your standards up. Don't start off with, he got to be a 6-figure man. Okay, what does your bank account look like? Because if you desire someone like that, you have to think the man desires somebody like that too. Once you draining his money, and ladies, he got a 6-pack. You got a 6-pack? Because if he got a 6-pack, that means he work out and he eat healthy, and you over there eating bonbon and pomfrets. So you got to be healthy. You're going to draw what when you write your list down, can you fulfill that list? You're not going to get somebody that's healthy and you all tore up from the floor up, and now that poor brother, he feel you just needy. Stop being so needy. You ain't got to be needy, but if you desire a mate, it's a desire. That's something you desire. There's nothing wrong with desiring to be married or being in a relationship, but don't be needy. You don't need a man. You don't need a woman. You desire it. And then you take your time. Don't start off, he got all his teeth. And then after a while, you're like, you know what? If he got one good tooth, that's all right with me. If he got dentures, that's good. He ain't got to have both legs. He can have a artificial leg, and he balanced out. He looked the same height. He ain't got to have both of his eyes, as long as he got one good eye that's got good peripheral. He ain't got to be taller than me. He can be, the size of a troll. It's okay. I can work with him. I can work with her. Put your standards back up there where they were. And then wait. You'll draw what you desire. You'll draw what you desire. You fix you first. You work on you first. Okay, you guys ready? I'm ready to switch over. That's enough. I don't mess with y'all enough. So I'm ready to go over here to Clubhouse. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. You guys stay tuned. I have the information. Danielle laughing. Well, I have the information for you guys this week, okay? So that we can start registrations for the Overcoming Narcissist Abuse Second Annual Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, on the 23rd of July at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis on Peachtree Avenue. If you have not purchased a ticket, you will not be able to come into the event. This is only for people that are registering and buying their tickets online. There is no ticket sales at the door. I will have staff there. I'm sorry, I will not be able to come out and chit chat because it's a conference that's going to be going on. And so if you come and you don't have a ticket to get in, I'm not going to be able to come out and talk to you because it's a conference that's going on. And those people that have paid to be at the conference, they will get the attention. And of course, no one will know the location, where we are going for VIP. This will only be information for VIP. And those of you that register for VIP, I do have staff that will be contacting those people that are registering for regular services, general admission. And those, you'll have my staff reach out to you guys for general admission. But those people that are registering for VIP, you will personally receive a call from me. I will personally call you and say thank you. I will have communication with you until we come there to Atlanta, and I will be looking for my VIPs who will be joining me. We're going to take good care of you. Okay. So good night, Miss Karen. So good night, you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to switch over to Clubhouse for a few minutes. Thank you guys for all your support. I love you guys. Thank you for being patient with me because it took me a few minutes to get to the house and get upstairs. So thank you. And then, of course, the lighting is usually off. So here over on Instagram, y'all know I'm light bright. You guys know I'm like a piece of paper. I'm transparent, so I got to get my lighting right. So, but thank you guys for being patient with me, okay? You guys have a wonderful night, and you guys go be great. You guys go be great, okay? Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.